Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Texties another podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. She is Tatsiana from Estonia. She is the CEO and co-founder of Laava Tech. Her name was listed in Forbes 30 under 30 in the list of top young entrepreneurs. By the way, can you please introduce yourself, Tanziana, and thank you so much for sparing out time from your busy schedule for this podcast.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Laava Tech. I started this company 2.5 years ago. Originally, I'm from Belarus, but I moved to Estonia 7 years ago, and since then, been living here and working on Laava Tech.
Oh, wow, that's great. So I was looking into your story. My team told me that you sold before going for your quarantine life. We want to know that before, like, you sold your first company, you sold your first business at the age of 20. So we are really curious about your story, that how this all started, like prior to Lava Tech, what you were doing.
So it wasn't a technical company. I was basically doing licensing. It was a licensing company. And I established it in Belarus at a very young age. I had a partner. She was, what is the legal term? Like the partner in a law firm. And she was helping me with, at first she helped me with like financing, and she helped with the legal side of things. And I've been doing all the hustle. So when I've been moving out of Belarus, we decided that it would be wise to sell it. And we managed to do it.
Wow, that's really great. By the way, still starting a company and selling it at the age of 20, I think it's a huge inspiration for all the entrepreneurs. So, by the way, can you tell us a little bit about that? How you co-founded and started Lava Tech?
Yeah, of course. So I started as a university project, and I've been doing my master's in Tallinn University of Technology. And in here we have a program. It's called Starter Tech. Anyone can come and join. Anyone from students. And basically the idea is that you come and you or pitch your own idea or join some team. I thought that I will come and join some team because I haven't had any ideas. But when I came, I started listening to ideas. I mean, they were good, but they were not in the topics that I'm interested about, like gaming, insurance, and I wanted to do something a bit more significant. And same time, I have a grandma in Belarus who used to grow tomatoes, and she was doing it extremely inefficiently. So I was just thinking that maybe we can create something that would help to grow at least tomatoes more efficiently.
Wow.
So I just pitched that idea, and I got first people on board, and then we started working on it. When we got the first prototype, we also got this side effect of decreasing energy consumption. We started talking, with customers, with investors, and we've discovered that that is actually going to be our main selling point.
Wow, that's really great. So, by the way, you started this company as a university project and then you took it professionally.
Yeah, exactly. I've been working as a lawyer back then. And then I quit my job and got into startup world.
Yeah, but by the way, you have a law and marketing background. What you were doing prior to in between? Can you tell us, share a little bit more about yourself? That what you were doing in between, like you started a company at the age of 20, you sold it, and then after that, prior to Lava
Well,
Tech.
I've been just building like a legal career. I've always been like studying how to be a lawyer, international lawyer, IT law. I've been a scholar from UN and OCC. I've always been getting various awards. I have award from President of Republic of Belarus for my outstanding performances. So I'm
Wow,
a
that's
student.
really.
And I've always thought that I'm going to be a lawyer. So I've been just basically focusing on that mainly.
So, by the way, when you figured it out that you want to become an entrepreneur, that you have a
I
law
didn't figure it
background,
out. It
you have a
just
law
happened.
and marketing background.
No, like marketing background, it just was, an easy job while studying. It was an easy job when I was younger, and it definitely helped. But I wasn't planning on being an entrepreneur. If someone would tell me that like 7 years ago, I would laugh and I would never believe it. So
it all happened with the passage of time.
yeah.
So, by the way, the journey you are in nowadays is a very hard journey. It's a very you are going on a bumpy road all alone. Like it's a lonely kind of journey, and it's not an easy. Like normally people say that entrepreneurial journey is full of sweat and tears. You are
Well,
driving on a
like
bumpy
any
road.
other
So
job
how
that's gonna
you
bring you money, you know. I mean, I can't complain because I can imagine that, I don't know, like having 5 kids is more work than what I do. I don't know. Uh, Cleaning streets is more work physically for sure than what I do. And of course, everyone has their own like mental and like timing problems and so on. So I don't think that it's any easier than any other job, but I also don't think that it's any harder than any other job. It's just what you want
By
to
the way,
achieve
what you are
and
talking
how far
about,
you
that you
want
are
to
really
go.
passionate about what you are doing, and when you really believe in your idea and you have clarity about it, only then you can say that it's not that hard. So I think you're really passionate about.
I
Yeah.
am very passionate about and am very focused on it. But as I said, it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to achieve something great, you will need to work hard and a lot. So, if I would want to be a very good lawyer, it would be the exact same story, just different industry. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
even
what
when
you
you
do,
have
it
to work
just
really
matters
hard
how you
to
do it.
achieve something in life. So, by the way, there is one more thing, that how you keep your passion alive. Because at some point in time, we feel depressed because it's a human nature. At some point in time, we feel like the things are not. At some point in time, things are not working as a normal work. So, how you keep your passion alive and keep yourself consistent?
Well, you just take responsibility and you just do your work. Like, you don't have bad days. If you wake up and you don't want to do something, you still do it. If you have a task that you're not excited about, like, I don't know, doing financials or, I don't know, whatever you don't like doing, pitching, writing applications, talking with investors, talking with the clients, developing tech, whatever of those you don't like to do, you still do it. It's just about taking responsibility and following it through and not feeling sorry for yourself or pity or like thinking on how to avoid it.
Yeah, if you really want, if you really believe in and you really want to do, you have to do it. So by the way, there
Exactly.
is one more thing for entrepreneurs I really want to ask you before going for your quarantine life, that people really have ideas, they want to start something, but they are afraid of fear of failure. What you suggest to those kind of people, that how they can overcome that fear of failure, because it's a very
I can
common
tell
thing
them
in
the
our.
exact same thing that Nike been telling for decades. Just do it. Like there is no there is no way to overcome it. There is no way to like deal with it. Just like you need to do it. You might not succeed, but you might succeed from the second attempt. Like there is like really no way you can tell. You just need to do it.
Wow, I
I'm
think this is
afraid
really a
to do
great
a
message,
lot of
because
things
until
and
and
it
unless,
will
yeah, there is nothing which can tell you exactly, there's no one who can tell you exactly that this is the path to
no.
success. You have to try and make your own path, create
Like
your own
no
path. This
one,
is what
not even the
entrepreneurship is
smartest
all about.
people, not the best people in your industry, no one ever gonna be able to tell you how to make it work unless you just like sit and do it.
Yeah. So, by the way, let's go to your quarantine life. Let's move on. By the way, nowadays everyone is talking about COVID-19, and how you people are also stuck in quarantine life. The whole globe, globally, people are stuck in quarantine. So, how you're spending your quarantine days, first of all?
Working. I
You're
don't know.
working on the startup.
Like
You took
not just
everything virtually.
me. I've
What
been
does
working same amount before and I'm working now actually even more because I don't need to spend time on the road. I don't need to go anywhere. So I'm just working more.
so it means your productivity has increased because of COVID.
Yeah, I would say so.
Wow, that's really great. Because most of the people, when it comes to a lot of people, they are feeling depressed because of COVID. They think that uh,
I don't have time to
because of COVID, they are in quarantine. They are unable to meet people physically. They are unable to do
you don't
meetings.
need to
They
have
are
online.
feeling depressed. Yeah.
You can
By the way, what
call.
do you suggest them? How to accept COVID as a reality? Because now COVID is a reality. Like, we people are talking virtually. We are not having a conversation in any conference. So we people are talking virtually. We are having a podcast. So by the way, how you suggest others that they can use these online tools to connect across the globe with their customers and all that, and they can move forward?
Just use them, like text them, call them, like, you know. do what you have to do.
So, by the way, how important is this for an entrepreneur to accept COVID as a reality? And like, there are a lot, as
It's not
we
about
talked
COVID.
earlier, that there are a lot of business. There are a lot
It's
of
not about
businesses.
COVID. As an entrepreneur, you need to, in general, be very flexible and accept different kind of situations as fast as you can. Like, it doesn't matter. It can be COVID. It can be any other pandemic. It can be like natural disaster,
Anything,
like
yeah.
literally anything else. You just
You
accept
need
it
to
and just
figure out a way. That what you
yeah.
mean. You need to figure out a way how you can survive during the pandemic or whatever it is.
You need to figure it out.
Yeah,
And like
being an
no one's gonna
entrepreneur,
do it for
that's
you.
what
Like
you're doing. Yeah,
no one's
you're
gonna take
solving
care of you. You just do it.
because you are a problem solver when it comes to entrepreneurs. So, by the way, what you suggest others how they can make their quarantine days productive? Because most of the people, when it comes to, we are not talking about entrepreneurs now. When it comes to the general audience, they are feeling depressed. How they can make these days productive? Because few of the people are unemployed nowadays. Because everyone knows that unemployment has been increased because of this pandemic. So, what you suggest them how they can either they should improve their skills, they should read books, what they should do,
Well,
or
everyone
they
should read
should
books,
follow their
even
passion.
if it's not pandemic. Like you just need to read books all the time if you want to be smart. And like during pandemic, I mean, there are insane amount of online courses that can help you to improve your career. A lot of universities are going only to online schedule. Like Cambridge gonna be working only online till the next summer. So for like a year and a half more, Cambridge, like the whole university, gonna be working only online. I'm not even talking about all the variety of the courses you can. These days, you can study anything. You can be a fitness trainer. You can be physicist. You can be chemist. Like just find whatever you want. Literally Google it, and if you have access to internet, then your problem is solved.
Yeah, do whatever you are passionate about because don't follow anyone blindly. This is what I tell to people that never follow anyone blindly. Do what you are passionate about and try to enhance your skills during this time. I think this is the best time because every crisis, every single problem has pros and cons. So look this crisis
Well,
in a positive way.
people also don't need to put a lot of pressure on themselves because obviously it's like very hard mentally to accept situation if you're not that flexible, and if you like start also putting that, okay, by the time the quarantine ends I need to like learn 5 new languages, 15 new skills, then it actually puts even more pressure on your mental health and it might backfire very hard on you. Just like do your normal routine, and if you feel like doing something extra then do it, but like don't raise your expectations for yourself way too high.
Yeah, I think this is really an important message. Yeah, people really need to follow this. By the way, when it comes to like everyone knows that a lot of people are unemployed nowadays, specifically when it comes to daily wages. They don't have jobs. When it comes to those kind of people, the most vulnerable community, how we can help others, what you suggest, and what your government is doing for those kind of people in Estonia.
Well, I mean, in Estonia, government, for example, everyone who has been laid off due to COVID, they will get their normal salary. Well, they're 70% of their salary from the government for the next several months. So that's enough. And of course, companies are trying to support their employees, even if they're getting fired as much as possible. And it's a good lesson for all the people that I know that's like hard to do, especially when you don't have much money. I mean, I'm from a very poor family, like from Belarus, like really, very poor. So I know what it is like when you don't have any money, but like you still need to always try to put some like for savings for these kind of situations, because you never know what's going to happen, and you need to financially educate your kids so your children from the childhood will know how to deal with money. Even if you don't have money, it might be that if you will teach them how to deal with money, they would learn to like how to earn them. I know what I'm talking about because when I first started to earn money, I had zero idea what to do with them and how not to spend them like stupidly and so on. Because I've, you know,
Yeah,
like
when you have personally seen the hard time, you don't spend it like, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't
So
overspend things. Yeah, you are very careful about all of these things.
exactly. Just just help each other out. I don't know. I've always been getting the most of help from the people I know and from the people around me. So there is always
Yeah.
someone in your
So
network
I
who
think
can.
this is something which is really great. You just mentioned that 70% of the salaries is being paid by the government. Estonian government is really, if they are supporting the entrepreneurial ecosystem and the normal and the employees and the companies, so they can sustain their employees. I think this is something which is really great, and other countries need to follow these kind of things to help their people. So by the way, when it comes to COVID, like everything has a positive side and a negative side. So what do you think? What is a positive side for you? How you're looking this COVID thing in a positive way?
Well, I'm more productive. You learn how to be more flexible. You learn how to work remotely as a team because I think it's extremely important in the 21st century. Faster we learn how to do it, the better. Um, you have more time to spend with your family because I don't know. Last year, I've spent I don't know 80% of time not home. It doesn't affect
Because of
family.
your business, you're traveling a lot, or
Yeah,
you're in office?
I've been traveling a lot, and I have a 4-year-old child, so
No.
not great.
By the way, when it comes to traveling, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about traveling. This is my favorite topic. Basically,
Go for
Taxi is a digital travel guide in Pakistan, and I love this traveling part. So yeah, go ahead. You were telling something.
No, that's it.
So, okay, as you just mentioned, traveling. When it comes to traveling, which is that country which you like the most and which you really want to visit again and you have visited it before?
Uh, that's a very hard question. The country that I like the most. Hmm. I don't know. I love every country I visit. They're all quite unique. They're just like so different. I can't compare, and it's not always about the country. It's about the experiences you get there. It's about the people you meet. I mean,
Yeah.
last year I've been to 27 countries. I had amazing time in Japan.
Wow. So
Wonderful
most
time.
of the time you were traveling, like
Huh?
visiting 27 countries in a year, it means most of the time you were traveling.
Yeah, that I said 80% of the year I've been on the go.
Whoa.
So yeah, like
So it was all because of business, or you were traveling for a year?
business. No late,
Oh.
no pleasure.
So it's all about business.
Yeah, but I
So by the
I
way, how much when it comes to traveling, like you were traveling across the globe and now you're unable to travel. So is that thing affected your business life?
a bit, but I learned how to work around it. It's fine. I mean,
So
of
you figured
course,
it out how to work
it
remotely and how
would
to
be
work
easier.
virtually.
It Yeah, it would be easier, of course, if I could travel. But if I can't, I don't see the point of like, oh, if I could travel, what could I do? Like, what's the point of talking because it's not happening? Just
Yeah.
deal with what you have.
So only it means you want to say that only look into possibilities, like what is possible and what is not. If there is something which is not possible at all, so there is no point of talking about that thing. It's just,
Exactly. It's just how
I
it
think
is.
this is really a great message. This is really a great message that when there is something which cannot happen, don't waste your time discussing that thing. Try to look everything in a positive way. Yeah. So, by the way, when it comes to like people were discussing the positive sides of COVID, what else other than your productivity has been increased? Because there are a lot of people who started doing different things. Like people who were not cooking before, they started cooking. People are gardening these days. They are spending more time on their business. They are like, what extra thing you have started? Is there anything which you started because of COVID? Like you're
Oh,
spending.
more. I haven't been cooking. I'm not planning on cooking. I haven't been gardening. I'm not gonna be gardening. I'm not good at it. There are people who are way better than I am at it, so I don't see the point of wasting my time. Just, just work.
So you just started working more and you became more productive after COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
So by the way, when it comes to the new normal, like people now the world is discussing about the new normal. how the new normal is going to look like. What according to you will be the new normal? Because we are like, it was 3 months, the 3 months back, the normal we used to have is not going to have after within next few months. So what will be the new normal according to you?
I don't know. We shall see. It's very hard to say because countries don't have the same strategy quite yet. I mean, in Estonia, we don't have quarantine anymore for the second week, and it's back completely back to normal. Like I can't say that it was any different before the quarantine. So I don't
So
know.
things are back to normal, and quarantine life is over there in
Yeah,
Estonia.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, even it's open for travel and tourism, domestic travel and
Well,
tourism, or even
uh,
international is open.
like international traveling, not quite, but like nearby countries, Latvia, Lithuania, we're open. I don't know. Like I can go to the city, I can go to the shop, I can go to the cafe, I can go to the office, I can like, do
Wow,
whatever.
it means things are back to normal and it's business as usual.
Yeah, I don't see any difference.
So by the way, when you step out, you have to wear the mask. Are there any restrictions like new things?
No,
You have to wear the mask. You have to
no.
while entering in. No. Why?
We very few new cases every day, and then if we will have more than 25 people in the whole country sick per day, then they will put quarantine again. That would mean that the second wave is coming. But I mean, I think we've dealt quite okay when our government says that it's quarantine, then people actually were sitting at home, not going anywhere. Like I haven't been going anywhere for 8 weeks at all.
Oh.
uh, and not only me,
Even
like
if I spent 8 weeks in lockdown.
yeah, well, I mean, going outside to the forest, but that's it. And not communicating with other people, nothing. And the whole country did it. So, as law abiding citizens, we've done quite well. That's why now we are back to normal life.
So by the way, when it comes to like how important is this for you? Because when you're stuck at home and you are unable to step out, like you just mentioned that you can go to forest, and how important is this for you to go to nature and think to give time to yourself? How important is this in an
I'm
entrepreneurial perspective?
I'm I'm in a bit special situation. I'm lucky. I live outside of the city. I live right next to the forest where there are no people,
Oh,
so I can go every day
wow.
and not meet anyone at all. So it's very I can imagine that if I would be living in the city, I would go nuts. So I'm not very good at giving advices about that. I always like nature. That's exactly why I'm not living in the city in the first place.
Okay, by the way, you just mentioned that you love nature. By the way, when you travel, what is that thing which make you travel? Cultural values of that place, food, heritage, or you travel for different kind of things and you love enjoying every single thing?
Well, I like experiences, and of course, I always try local food, like always.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I
It means
always,
you're a foodie.
hmm?
You're a foodie.
Yeah. I always go to the highest point in the city or whenever I go, and in general, just like try to walk as much as possible.
So that's what you enjoy. So by the way, when it comes to your entrepreneurial journey, let's come back to your entrepreneurial life. What is the biggest hardship you faced in your entrepreneurial journey? Can you please share a a little bit on that? Because when it comes to, there are two factors in entrepreneurship, wow and O. When it comes to your wow factor, people are going to learn a lot from that, that this is what you face and this is how you look at a problem and this is how you look at a hardship.
Just like learning that you need to like sit and do it. There's no like literally there's no way around it. If there something needs to be done, you just do it.
You have to chunk it down and you have to go for it, do it. I think this is the only way out. Yeah. So, by the way, when it comes to mistakes, like people do a lot of mistakes. There are someone when we announced that you will be joining us for the podcast. There are few questions from the people. One of the question is that we do a lot of mistakes. How we can avoid mistakes? First of all, my personal opinion is that we can never avoid mistakes because a mistake
Exactly.
is something which is unintentional. So we can
You
only avoid things which are
just
intentional.
just
So
learn how to remember them and how to get over them faster. Like you do mistake, try not to do it again, and just get over it. like there is no point sitting in for a week and crying over it. It's not going to help. Just see how you can fix it and see what you can do not to ever do it again.
Yeah, and then move forward. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think this is the only way. By the way, when it comes to traveling, do you also travel for Laia? Like maybe domestic? It can be domestic or.
Well, this year was the first time I went on a holiday in the last 5 years. That was great. So I do travel for leisure, just very, very rarely.
Can you share your best travel memory? Any? It can be any country. Like either can be international or domestic. Whatever you want to share.
It's actually domestic. We have friends in Estonia in one very, very, very small village, like tiny village. They basically have a house in the middle of the field, and with my parents, we've been traveling there since I was small, like every year. They have a house in the middle of the forest, and they have sauna on the lake, so you can just like go to sauna and jump in the lake. And there are no people, a lot of nature, very calm. It always like felt like home for me, like second home.
Wow. So, by the way, there is one more thing. Let's come back to your entrepreneurial life. That your name was listed in Forbes 30 under 30 in the category of top young entrepreneurs. How it feels like? It wasn't your dreams, or it happened unintentionally that you were in the journey and you came to know that this thing happened.
Well, I always wanted it. I don't know. It just like seemed cool, so I always wanted it. I didn't know how I'm gonna use it. I actually not gonna use it in any way. Anyway,
But
uh,
I think it's a huge achievement that in top young entrepreneurs globally, you were among you were in that
yeah,
list.
it's like a nice thing to have. I didn't think that it would happen this year. I didn't think that it would happen at all, but I wanted it. And of course, when it happened, it came as a nice surprise, and I'm happy I got it. But
Wow, that's really great. I think you are an example for the young entrepreneurs as well as specifically when it comes to women entrepreneurs. You are an amazing example. By the way, being a woman in entrepreneurship, do you have any specific challenge?
yes, being a woman. Can you hear me? Okay, guys, I guess there are some connection problems with the internet. Thank you so much for watching. And I mean, text me if you have any questions or anything else. I have to go now, unfortunately, but I hope you've enjoyed this podcast.